Hi guys, welcome back to the cider shed. But today, for one day only, for the time being, it's not a cider shed, it's a beer shed. Yeah, I'm going to indulge myself and try some beer, rather than some perry or cider. We do loads of perry and cider, and we're going to do lots more of it, don't worry. But yeah, I got a couple of beers, and I thought I'd like to try them and film it for fun. I have a cheese hat, which I've worn for like 25 years. I've had a cider hat, which I've worn for the past 2-3 years. And I've a craft beer hat, which I wore professionally for about 5 years in the United States. And I got these two beers from Richard, who owns Salt House Bottles in Brockley, which is where I live in South East London. And what I got from him was two beers, one called Goat and one called Toad. And one is a West Coast IPA and one is an East Coast IPA. And they're both brewed just down the road from where I live in Deptford at the Villages Brewery. So I shouts out for a local producer who's actually doing some great stuff. I've had some really nice stuff of these guys. So I think it's a couple of brothers, possibly. And I haven't been down there. I need to go down there. But with lockdown and everything and having a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old running around at home, getting down to the pub is not that easy. Anyway, so I thought, if I can go to the pub, let's bring the pub to me. So here we go, let's try these. So, I'm going to try the East Coast first. Let's have a look what's on the back. So they are, what are they? Can't see a percentage. There must be one on here, otherwise they're breaking the law. 6%. And that one is 6%. So they're both 6%. Okay, so IPA, Indian Pale Ale, made traditionally for export to India, hence the name. Heavily hopped, because hops are an antibiotic. They preserve. And also high alcohol, because alcohol preserves. Yeah? So the heavily hopped beers, high alcohol beers, were put in barrels and shipped all the way to India. It took a long time. They went through very different climates, so across the equator and come back up again. It took about, I can't remember how long it took, months basically. And during those months, the beer would be conditioning in these barrels. And by the time we got to India, it tasted magnificent. And I think actually it's very strong beer, but I think sometimes they would dilute it down. They wouldn't necessarily drink it at full strength, they'd dilute it back. And also it was safe to drink, unlike some of the water there. So I think things like Indian tonic water has quinine in, because that helps keep it clean and stop you getting sick. Yeah. So similar thing with strong beer that you could then water down. So yeah, East Coast IPA, West Coast IPA. In my head, East Coast IPAs are more neutral, more about the hops than the malt. I always felt that the West Coast were richer. They had more things like crystal malt in, a bit more. They're almost a bit too much for me sometimes, a bit too rich. I may be completely wrong. Maybe there isn't even a style anymore. Everyone just makes whatever they want, wherever they want. In my head, though, that was the style. So we'll start with the East Coast first, and it says that it uses what hops? It says the hops on here: Citra, which is very fruity and tropical. Idaho 7, never heard of it. Sabro, never heard of it. Haven't made beer for quite a while, so I'm a bit out of the loop. But anyway, yeast is a London Ale 3. What is this one? This one is Simcoe Cascade Centennial Citra. Classic Northwest hops. I mean, Cascade Centennial, they're two of the most sort of well-known, famous. So they were the first hops used by, I think Sierra Nevada for their pale ales used, I think it's Centennial or Cascade, I forget which. I think it was Centennial, could be wrong. And it blew people's minds. Now it doesn't seem very hoppy at all. At the time it was like the hoppiest thing everyone had ever tasted. Everyone went crazy. So, let's try it. So London Ale yeast. Not sure what USO5 is. So that was a bad start. I just tried to open it and it didn't open. So I might have to pause it. And yeah, I'm going to pause it. I'm back. I've unpaused it. I just took my knife and stabbed a hole in the top. I wasn't going to mess about. So one black mark against the Villages. Their cans aren't very good. Or this opening thing isn't very good, at least. I mean, sure, they don't manufacture the cans, but just of note, that basically came straight off. However, no mind. So, tasting glass. We use a tasting glass for everything. Beer, cider, wine, whatever. Coffee, if you want to taste it properly. Water, if you want to taste it properly. Proper tasting glass is what you use. Make a little Ponzi. Couldn't care less. Right, nice head on that. This is bound to be unfiltered. And it certainly is unfiltered. Crikey. Look at that. That is an unfiltered beer. That is turbid, I would say, for sure. Nice colour though. Almost got like an orange, quite orange in colour actually. What do you think of like a very pale orange skin or orange juice or something? I mean mango juice, something like that. Yeah, nice. Okay. Looks like the texture's going to be great. My mouth's watering. Let's smell it. Yeah, actually, so not quite as tropical as expected. There's a little bit of tropicalness in there because of the well, certainly for the Citra. Idaho 7, I suspect, isn't that funky because it says Idaho, which I don't associate with it being really kind of like fruity rather. And what else was it? What else was it? What else was it? Sabro, no idea. No idea. Post a comment if you know what it is. It actually feels quite dank, that one. Not super tropical. There's a dankness to it. There's a little bit of like tropical fruit in there, but it's like burning like a dank sort of aromatic. Smells good though. Smells good. Alright, let's test it. Okay. Yeah. So it does make me think of East Coast. The malt bill is quite light. It's not too much. It's not too sweet. This is very much about the hops. The bitterness is there. So hops also bring bitterness in the form of IBUs, international bitterness units. I don't know what the IBU on this is. My guess is going to be about 60 or 70. Not overly bitter though. It's nice. Great mouthfeel. I mean, just rich as anything on the mouth. That head is almost like a nitro head. Fantastic. Tasty. That's really good. IPA. 6% is not too strong. Sometimes it can get stupidly strong. I think 6 is fine. I don't think it needs to be any higher than that actually. I mean, certainly when it starts getting the 7, 8, I'm like, too much. And also, you perceive alcohol as sweet. So it just gets even richer. Yeah. This is nice, rich, clean, but it feels like it's got a nice light malt bill. Pale malts, it feels like to me. And those hops are really bringing, you know, some wonderful flavours to it. There's a little tropical fruit with that kind of like dank, rich sort of thing. Not much pininess, which is something you often get in sort of like American hops, but I think that you associate that more with the Pacific Northwest sort of thing. Anyway, it's a long time since I did beer stuff, so forgive me if I'm, you know, talking crap. Okay, that is great beer though. So that one was the, don't know how to get the name, but Toad, great. Oh, maybe it's got oats in. Has it got oats in? Has it got oats in? Oats. It's got oats. Nice. That's one of the reasons why I like it so much. That's what's giving that really rich mouthfeel, and also probably that haze as well. A lot of protein in oats, so it gives you that thick quality on the palate and a kind of oaty flavour. Brilliant. So I'm guessing goat and toad both have the word oat in. That's what I'm going to guess. Assuming you don't know if that's true. It has to be that. It has to be that. Right then, West Coast. What do you got? What have you got? Please open, please open, please open. Yay! 1 out of 2 ain't bad. There we go. So, goat. Water, barley, hops and yeast. Actually, this one does not contain oats, apparently. So there goes my theory. Really? Doesn't it? Okay. Oh, I thought I was onto something there. So let's have a look at this. Now that looks... Oh, it's not as turbid. So yeah, don't think this does has oat in. Because look at the difference in colour on that. Look at it. I mean, it's unfiltered, but man, you can see right through that. Right through it. And that head, oh, it's still pretty rich. It doesn't look quite as thick. No, I don't know. It's a pretty gorgeous head. Man, there's a lot of great protein in this, giving these lots of nice heads, I must say. You'd think if it had oats in, it would say on the tin. But it doesn't say on the tin. So let's assume it's not. Yeah. Let's give it a sniff. More tropical, less of that dankness, more tropical element, which is what you expect from that hop list. You know, you tend to get like, you know, with Cascades and Tenny, like loads of citra, tropical fruit, pine. I don't mean like, almost not like pine forest, like pine floor cleaner. That kind of pine is what I'm talking about. You know, there's things that you get, there's trees that you hang on the mirror of your car with, it's that kind of thing. Often you get with it. It's intense pine. It's almost like fake pine. It's not overpowering. It's actually quite delicate. As was the first one. It's not as dank. It feels fruitier. Smells good. Be interested to see which one I like the best. We'll try it. Okay. So the palate is more austere. That richness of the oats is not there. And I think I really like that richness of oats. It does feel, I mean, the colour of it looks like it's just using, oh, my light's gone out. My light's gone out. So I'm going to do the rest of this in the dark. Things aren't going very well today. Oh, hang on, maybe I can do something. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to pause it again. Hold on. I'm back. This is the best I can do, I think. It's about as bright as I can get it. So I'm going to do the rest of this in the dark. I do apologise. My battery pack's run out. God damn it. Well, anyway, we got to see it. You got a glimpse of it. It's fine. There it is. Look, there she is. There she blows. So yeah, it's much clearer. Lighter on the palate. It does have a slightly more tropical element to it, absolutely. But it's not that rich. There is like a tiny bit more, I feel like there's a hint more sort of sweetness, if you like, in the background. But, yeah. Well, there's a bit of pineiness in there, yeah, definitely, actually. Getting that, certainly getting that. That's a nice IPA as well. It's actually lighter, not bigger. The oats and that dankness in the first one, really imposing. That one's got more, the IBU seems more prominent in this one as well. The bitterness, it's more persistent on the back of the palate. I prefer the East Coast one, I think. This isn't a bad IPA, don't get me wrong. But it feels like many other, I don't know, it is top notch. They're good brewers, they really are. It does feel like a quality product, this. But I have to say, the richness of that first one, you know, and the hops are more intense, you know. So yeah, I'm going to go for that. I can drink a load of that. The mouthfeel alone is worth the price of entry, I think. Got to get down to this brewery. Okay, guys. Sorry to finish in the dark. It's been eventful, hasn't it? It's been eventful. Maybe this is the cider gods saying, get that goddamn stuff out of the cider shed and get some cider back in there. We don't do beer in here. Well, sorry, cider gods, but I do beer. I do beer. Okay, look, there you go. Villages, goat, toad. They don't both have oats in, even though they both have oat in the title. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to pour out some more of this first one because it was delicious. I'm going to say thank you for watching me in the dark with all the other stuff that's gone on. I'll be back probably tomorrow, actually, with some cider. And please do join me for that. But until then, I hope you can see me. Until then, thanks for watching. Cheers.